Good evening, football world, and welcome. You are watching the FIFA World Cup 2026, the biggest, boldest, most breathtaking edition of this tournament in history, spread across the United States, Canada, and Mexico. 48 nations, and the entire planet is watching. What matters is what happened on the pitch over the last 48 hours and what is coming tonight, because let me tell you, this tournament is not waiting for anyone. Drama in every group, shocks on the scoreboard, legends writing new chapters, and underdogs refusing to go quietly. So settle in, this is your complete World Cup update for June 23rd, and we are starting right at the top. Let's go back to Sunday and the game that announced Spain's intentions to the rest of the world, loud, clear, and in capital letters. Spain versus Saudi Arabia, Group H. And this wasn't a football match, this was a masterclass. La Roja were on the scoreboard inside 10 minutes, 1-0. By the 21st minute, it was 2-0. And then, brace yourself, by the 24th minute, it was 3-0. 3 goals before the half-hour mark. Saudi Arabia, with just 35% of the ball and 3 total shots all game, simply had no answer. Spain came out after halftime and made it 4-0 in the 49th minute, putting the game completely to bed. Spain registered 21 total shots, 9 on target, 65% possession. Lamine Yamal, Pedri, Dani Olmo, Nico Williams, Mikel Oyarzabal, every single name in that Spanish lineup was a constant threat. This is a Spain side playing with tactical ruthlessness, and they are producing the kind of football that wins World Cups. They sit top of Group H on 4 points, and the rest of that group is watching nervously. If this is what Spain looked like in their second group game, what are they going to look like in the knockout rounds? Now let's talk about Japan, because the Blue Samurai have been the story of Asian football for decades. Giant killers, tournament disruptors, and in this World Cup they are doing it again. Tunisia versus Japan in Group F, and Japan were absolutely merciless. They were on the board inside 4 minutes. 4 minutes! 1-0. By the 31st minute, it was 2-0, and Tunisia were already a broken side. Japan added a third at 69 minutes, and then, in case anyone hadn't gotten the message, a fourth in the 83rd minute. Final score, Tunisia 0, Japan 4. Japan's stats were clean and efficient. 10 total shots, 5 on target, 57% possession. Tunisia could only muster 3 total shots across 90 minutes. 3, with just 1 finding the target. It was a complete and utter dismantling. Japan moved to 4 points in Group F, where the Netherlands are also on 4 points. That final group game between those two sides is going to be enormous. Tunisia are eliminated, 0 points from 2 games, and their World Cup campaign is over. Japan, meanwhile, look like a genuine dark horse for the knockout stages. Moving to Group I, and the headline writes itself: Norway versus Senegal, one of the matches of the tournament so far. Norway lined up with the most fearsome strike partnership at this World Cup, Erling Haaland up front with Alexander Sorloth alongside, Martin Odegaard pulling the strings in midfield, Antonio Nusa and Frederick Osnes providing width and energy. Senegal, on the other side, brought their own star power, Sadio Mane, Nicholas Jackson, Ismail Assar, alongside veterans like Kalidou Koulibaly at the back and Idrissa Gana Gueye commanding the midfield engine. This had the ingredients for a spectacular match, and it absolutely delivered. Norway drew first blood in the 43rd minute, 1-0. At the break, then within 3 minutes of the restart, minute 48, Norway struck again, 2-0. The game looked to be slipping away from Senegal, but at 53 minutes, Senegal clawed one back, 2-1. Momentum shift, the crowd alive. And then Norway silenced them again at 58 minutes, 3-1. Game over? Almost, because at the 90th minute, Senegal made it 3-2, a dramatic late goal, but nothing more. The final whistle blew, and Norway celebrated a 3-2 win. Now look at the stats, and you will see the most remarkable element of this match. Senegal had 57% possession, 17 total shots to Norway's 12, 6 shots on target each. Senegal dominated phases of this game and still lost. Norway were simply more clinical, more lethal, more composed in the moments that mattered, and that is what separates good teams from great ones at a World Cup. Norway are now top of Group I on 6 points alongside France. Senegal have 0 points from 2 matches and are eliminated. One of Africa's powerhouses gone before the knockout rounds. The Lions of Teranga roared, but Norway had the last word. France, Le Bleu, the 2018 world champions, and they are looking ominous through 2 group games. France versus Iraq, and this one was settled by halftime in all but name. France had the opener inside 14 minutes, 1-0. The second came in the 54th minute, the third at 66, 3-0. Kylian Mbappe leading the line, Ousmane Dembele and Bradley Barcola flanking him, and Iraq simply had no way into this game. Iraq's stats tell the whole story. 4 total shots all game, 0 on target. Not 1 shot on target across 90 minutes of a World Cup match. France registered 19 total shots and kept an immaculate clean sheet, with goalkeeper Mike Maignan barely being called upon. France have 6 points from 2 games and are already marching into the round of 16. They're playing cohesive, disciplined, devastating football. And when Mbappe is in full flight with those runners around him, there is not a defense in this tournament that can feel entirely comfortable. Now to the match that stirred the most emotion in Group J, Algeria versus Jordan. Algeria, led by the brilliance of Riyad Mahrez, had too much quality to stay down for long, because Jordan did something remarkable. They took the lead in the 36th minute. A massive shock against a side of Algeria's technical quality. But the Fennec Foxes controlled 75% of possession and had 17 shots to Jordan's 8, 10 corner kicks to Jordan's 1. The pressure was relentless, and it eventually paid off. Algeria leveled at 69 minutes, and then at 82 they found the winner. 2-1 Algeria. A comeback, a statement. Mahrez, Ibrahim Maza, and Amin Gouiri combining in the Algerian attack with real purpose and genuine quality. They sit on 3 points, very much alive in the group, with Argentina top of Group J on a perfect 6 points. Jordan are out of contention, bottom of the group without a point to their name. And then there was Argentina, the world champions, the team built around the greatest player this sport has ever produced, Lionel Messi. Argentina versus Austria in Group J was not a thriller, but it did not need to be. Argentina are in control, and they know it. They broke the deadlock at the 38th minute, 1-0 at halftime, and then in a moment of pure composure, they added the second goal deep in stoppage time at the 90th minute to seal it 2-0. Argentina's lineup reads like a fantasy football dream. Emiliano Martinez in goal, Christian Romero and Lisandro Martinez at the heart of defense, Rodrigo de Paul, Alexis McAllister, and Enzo Fernandez commanding midfield, and then the front players, Messi, Lautaro Martinez, and Thiago Almada causing chaos. 54% possession, 12 total shots. They did not need to be extravagant. They were professional, controlled, and they got the job done. 2 wins from 2, 6 points, top of Group J. The reigning world champions are marching forward, and the football world knows exactly what happens when this team builds momentum. Let's go back to Group H, because Uruguay versus Cape Verde was one of the most entertaining matches of this entire tournament so far. Uruguay, with Federico Valverde, Rodrigo Bentancur, and Manuel Ugarte in midfield, and Federico Vinas leading the attack, were heavy favorites. But Cape Verde are no ordinary side. They proved that in stunning fashion. Cape Verde drew first blood at the 21st minute, shocking Uruguay supporters everywhere. But then, and this is where the match turned on its head, Uruguay scored twice in the space of 60 seconds. Minute 44, 1-1. Minute 45, 2-1. 2 goals in a single extraordinary minute. Uruguay took that lead into halftime, and 3 points looked certain, but Cape Verde had different ideas. At the 61st minute, they leveled again, 2-2, and that is how it finished. Uruguay had 66% of the ball, 16 shots, 11 corner kicks, and could only draw. Cape Verde had 4 shots on target and scored twice from them. It was counterattacking football at its brilliant, disciplined finest from the Blue Sharks of the Atlantic, and Uruguay's failure to close out that game will haunt them. Both teams sit on 2 points in Group H. Spain lead with 4. This group goes all the way to the final match day. Now, let's bring it to today, June 23rd, and what is on the schedule this evening will keep you glued to your screens. First up, Portugal versus Uzbekistan in Group K. Bruno Fernandes, Rafael Leao, Bernardo Silva. Portugal's squad is loaded with quality at every level. The numbers are stacked heavily in Portugal's favor, but Portugal drew their opening game against Congo DR, and that means they need a win tonight to seize control of the group. Uzbekistan, at their first ever FIFA World Cup, have been competitive and will not come to this stage simply to make up numbers. But Portugal's firepower is on a different level, and expect them to be on the attack from the first whistle. Then, England versus Ghana, Group L. 3 points for England from their game, 3 points for Ghana from theirs. This is a direct six-pointer, a shootout for position in this group. Jude Bellingham, Phil Foden, Bukayo Saka. England's attacking talent is undeniable, but Ghana, with their intensity, physicality, and the experience of players who compete in Europe's biggest leagues week in and week out, will be an absolute handful. This one could genuinely go either way, and Group L is fascinating precisely because of how tight and competitive it already is. And closing out today's action, Croatia versus Panama. Croatia, in possibly the last World Cup appearance for Luka Modric and an entire generation of players who took this nation to a World Cup final in 2018 and a semifinal in 2022. Panama making history just by being here, and they will run and battle and fight for every single inch of that pitch. Croatia need a win to stay alive in Group L, and they start as clear favorites, but at a World Cup, nothing is given, nothing is guaranteed. Every 90 minutes is a story waiting to be written. Before we close, let's take a moment to zoom out and appreciate what this tournament has already given us. Matches deep into the group stage, and we have had upsets, comebacks, giant performances, and heartbreak. Mexico, top of Group A, the United States, the host nation, top of Group D on a perfect 6 points, and making their fans dare to dream on home soil. Germany, ruthless as ever, 6 from 6 in Group E. France and Norway, both perfect in Group I. And Argentina, the defending world champions, showing absolutely no signs of surrendering that crown. The Golden Boot race is intensifying by the day. Every goal scored in this tournament carries weight, carries history, carries the kind of legacy that football fans remember for generations. Erling Haaland hunting goals, Kylian Mbappe hunting records, Lionel Messi hunting one final extraordinary chapter in the greatest career the game has ever seen. 48 teams started this journey. The group stage is burning fast. Every point matters. Every goal matters. Every moment under these floodlights, in these packed stadiums from New York to LA to Toronto to Mexico City, is part of something that only comes around every 4 years. This is the FIFA World Cup 2026, and we are just getting started. Tonight, more history gets written. The next kickoff is almost here. Don't go anywhere.